Content warning. Echo can be emotionally intense experience and may not be for everyone. Echo contains themes of adult nature, including violence, torture, drug usage, and harsh language. Viewer discretion is advised. I guess that's a good place as any to leave off, so I move on to another subject. So, now that Flynn's fucked up the trip, what do we do next? He hasn't. We'll fix this. Just gotta get that dumbass to apologize. But once I do, we have a birthday to plan. I raised my brows in surprise. It wasn't anyone's birthday anytime soon. Huh? Whose birthday? Carl's. Carl? His birthday wasn't until the end of April. Literally a month away. It's early, really early, I know, but I'm kinda limited on ideas of what we can do. I guess that makes sense. So when's that gonna be? Wednesday. We need to buy the stuff tomorrow and I have the day off. Leo looks at his phone again. Speaking of which, I need to drive you guys back so I can get back to work. Well, alright. I'm not doing much else tomorrow. I should be working on the project, but I've got plenty of time to be honest. Leo slides off the boulder and turns back to me. I'll ask Jenna and TJ too. I'll let Flynn cool off for a day. Do you know where TJ went? Yeah, he just texted me that he wanted to be left alone, which I understand. I get off the boulder as well, and Leo reaches a paw out towards me. And now I'm really curious what happened to Sydney. And what's the reason behind all the drawings with him? I'm very curious. And this time, watch where you're walking. Hold on to me. That's probably a good idea. Tuesday. Peyton Mall is tiny compared to one of the Pueblo where I go to school. It's only got one floor and maybe 20 stores. It still wasn't a bad place to hang out back when I was in high school, mostly because it had a movie theater. So, where do you guys want to go first? First? We only need to go to one. You sure? I mean, maybe we should help him branch out? He knows what he likes, it's fine. Well, alright, lasers as it is. It's one of those kinds of stores where it looks like a radioactive clown jizzed on everything. Well, there's a lot of weird porn here. Think Carl would like that? I'm not really sure what Carl's into when it comes to that. I think he likes the paws, honestly. Why don't I just box up my foot and put a bow on it then? Porn? Really? Let's just stick to comic books. We both look at him. Everything okay, Tej? TJ's been in a bit of a mood ever since he woke up this morning. He didn't talk the whole drive here, instead just browsing through stuff on his phone. He's just salty that he isn't roasting on the trail right now. No, this is fine. I'm fine, guys. TJ smiles to show us how fine he is. Yeah, sure. Well, Leo's driving us up halfway after this, so you're still going to get yourself barbecue. You don't have to go if you don't want. I don't know if it would be very fun if you were upset the whole time. At this point, Leo turns to me smiling. You going with them? In this fur? On these legs? I lift a foot for him. No, it's over 90 degrees today. Yeah, best leave it to the land mammals. So, Leo claps his paws together loudly. Let's split up and pick something out. I think it'll be fine if we keep it under 20 bucks. As everyone wanders off, I look around. I'm not sure what I should get him. He doesn't get excited about much unless one of his comic books is being turned into a movie. We could look at comic books. We could look at action figures. He likes comics. But he doesn't like it unless it's a movie. Okay. We will... I guess we'll look at comics? Jenna's already looking at the comic book section, so I decided to try my luck there. Find anything? Not yet. I'm debating whether or not to get him a manga? A comic or a manga? Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him reading one of those. Yeah, he thinks anything that isn't from the West is inferior to his precious comics. I look over the selection, most of which happens to be manga. The eyes are kind of weird looking. Not all of them. Besides, it's the stories I like. It's not all the superheroes and powers, you know. Yes, though I think every anime I've seen deals with some kind of demon trapped in some kid. Hey, that's the pop shonen crap. You have to look for the good stuff. Well, I guess that's true with everything, right? As I'm glancing around the covers, I'm noticing a pattern of schoolgirls with big boobs. It is kind of weird that Jenna would be into that stuff. Anyway, I'm sure if you get him something good, we could expand his horizon on comics. You can really call that expanding. I move back towards the comics and look around, but I can't make out what any of it means. Carl's so damn knowledgeable about comic books, I'm sure he already has everything he wants. I wander off towards the opposite wall where all the posters are. Leo's standing there looking over the display board. I stand next to him. You know, I think every inch of his wall is covered. I don't know if there's any more room. Has he put anything on the ceiling? I don't think so. Then there's room. Well, alright. I guess I'll get him a Luce. I don't think he's got one of him. I look over at the masked wolf, his arms crossed, bare chest and abs stuck out on full display. I waggle my eyebrows. I waggle my brows. Sure, that's why you want him. Leo grins down at me. Oh yeah, sorry, but he's not my type. I like my guys a bit more supple. His tail slaps my ass. Well, I like him. I love the muscles. Leo squares his shoulders and flexes. His biceps bulge to nearly the size of my head. Grr, like these? I feign indifference and shrug. Meh, I'm more into the cut look like Luce. Leo frowns, but I take that moment to slap him on the butt with my tail. Because it's not as flexible as him, I had to turn my body into it, and it practically thuds into his ass. Leo yelps and stumbles forward into the posters with a loud clatter. Whoa! Calm down, boys. Jenna walks up behind us and stands next to me, her arms folded over a manga with a doe in the schoolgirl uniform on the front. That looks sexy, Jenna. Good pick. Jenna rolls her eyes as Leo reaches into the poster bin with Luce in it. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't have this one. TJ follows up behind them with a small figurine of a Trinity Weasel in his paws. I laugh. And of course you get that, TJ. Hey! It was a good price, and he's kidding, TJ. Anyway, maybe it'll help him take another look at the movie? It was really good. I realize that I'm the only one that hasn't picked out a gift, and I look around anxiously. Right in front of me was a rack of beanie caps. One of them has a bloodied and decaying zombie face printed on it. Its teeth bared on the brim. I assume that it's to make the wearer look like their head is clamped up. Is this Hot Topic? This is Hot Topic. This is a polarized version of Hot Topic. Like, that's the Cheshire Cat right there, and I'm assuming like Harry Potter. Like, this is definitely Hot Topic. Am I right? Like, I think this is Hot Topic. I think Carl likes zombies. I snatch it off the rack and hurry up to the front with the others. How does it look? I ask CJ as we're walking through the parking lot. It looks good, I guess? No, I mean, does it look like a zombie badger is eating my head? Oh, yeah, looks great. He gives me a thumbs up. I pull it down over my face slowly. How do you think we'd all do in a zombie attack? I lift the hat back up over my forehead. Like, who would die first? My eyes fall involuntarily on TJ. Me? Why do you think that? Well, maybe not. You are pretty fast. I just kind of imagine you just curling up into a ball. But honestly, I'd be the first to go. I stick out a leg. Look at how stubby these are. Psh, I'm the fastest, and I'll carry you. You wouldn't have to worry. Oh, really? I look over at Jenna and see that she's got that gleam in her eyes that always puts me on edge. Pretty sure I'm faster than you, Leo. Leo smirks. Pretty sure my legs are way longer and way faster than yours, Jenna. Jenna sticks out her bag with a manga in it at me. I take it slowly, trying to catch her eye so I can shake my head frantically at her. Leo sticks his bag out at TJ, almost punching him in the nose. TJ jumps and gingerly takes it from him, frowning. This is a parking lot, guys. Are you sure it's a good idea? But Jenna and Leo have already taken up their positions side by side, leaning forward. All right, to the lamppost. You're on. Count us off, Chase. How is this proving anything? Don't you need to be carrying Chase? All right, ready, set, go. Leo actually gets a bit of a head start since he anticipated the go, but Jenna catches up right away. In fact, she's 10 feet ahead of him in just 5 seconds into the race. I can hear her laughing as she gracefully speeds up ahead, her tail whipping around like a flag as she zips off towards the horizon. Leo, realizing he's going to lose, is frantically flailing his arms around his ears and head down as he charges forward. I'm actually surprised by how bad he's losing. I mean, he used to play football back in high school, so he had some training. But I also think it's the fact that he smokes a lot since you've left that is affecting his lung capacity. So I'm assuming it's that. With his head down, I guess he doesn't see the curb right in front of him and his foot clips it as he passed. I hear a yelp, then see him careen off the side and rolls on the asphalt before slamming up against the tire of a parked car. TJ gasps and covers his eyes. Oh my god! Oh no, he's Christian. Oh my gosh! I'm already running up to where Leo's fallen. He's sitting up against the tire, one paw on his head as he grits his teeth in pain. I'm just gonna say trigger warning, possible blood. Possible blood. So yeah, just a heads up for everyone. Are you alright? Jesus, you hit that hard. I kneel down next to him, and the second he sees me, he grins and quickly scrambles up, brushing his paws. Okay, no blood. We're good. I'm fine. I just tripped up a bit. I can see spots on his paw pads that are skinned and bleeding, and I wince. Jesus Christ, Leo, that wasn't just a bit. Jenna, having noticed that her competition at eating shit, jogs back to us, her paws on her hips as she breathes heavily. Wow. You okay, Leo? I'm fine. Want to try that again? The stupid curb got in the way. Nope, you're banged up enough as it is. You're fucking bleeding everywhere. I should probably drive. I'm fine, Chase. Leo rolls his eyes to show me how much he doesn't care, but I can see that the insides of his ears are bright red. There's a bit of an awkward silence, and only punctuated by Leo and Jenna's breathing. Finally, Jenna walks up next to me and puts her paw around my shoulders. Well, now you know who you're more likely to survive with in a zombie apocalypse, Chase. Remember it. Leans her head up against my shoulder, and I cringe as I see Leo's smile turn icy. All right, cool. Let's get going. This is awkward. I wiggle out from under her arm. You guys need to get to your hike. Drive back is only a little bit awkward. To her credit, Jenna does try to apologize to Leo, but he just waves it off like it wasn't a big deal. I can tell by how he's overdoing the cheerfulness that that's not the case. We drop TJ and Jenna off halfway up the trail, which happens to be right next to the highway. Once we're alone in the car, Leo starts messing around with the CD player. You might remember this. As the music fills the car, I am immediately transported back to my high school days. Jesus. Is this carpet stains? Yep. Leo's grinning at me, occasionally glancing towards the road. This was a band we listened to together in my junior and senior year. You still into that stuff? It's nostalgic. The music carries a lot of memories for me. And the fact that I haven't listened to it since I'd last been in town made it all the more powerful. Sure, the music is simple, the lyrics embarrassing, but I miss it. Maybe I think I could be if I listened to it again. Me too. As we drive, I mouth the lyrics underneath my breath. That's the lyric. You haunt. Nah, should I sing that? Everything in my life. I see you in the clouds in the sky, so blue. I see your outline in my screen door too. Finally, we pull up to Leo's old ranch-style house. It looks the same as it always has, though the landscaping has definitely taken a turn for the worse. Leo parks and we both get out. I'm busy staring at the driveway, thinking about all the times I've walked across it, when a gravelly voice pulls me from my reverie. Hey, who are you? I jump. Oh god, the gravelly voices are going to get me. I jump and look to the right, spotting a thin and angry looking raccoon. He's standing next to some bushes, trimming them. His yard is a desert landscape and looks pretty good next to Leo's property, which is nothing but weeds and sage bushes. Behind the raccoon is an old, rusty-looking trailer home. Thinking back, I'm pretty sure that a really old mouse used to live here, but this guy's a raccoon and looks pretty young too. I hear Leo walking quickly around the front of his truck to stand next to me. Hey, Cud. This is Chase, remember? I was telling you about him? Leo puts his arm around me. Cud's demeanor changes immediately when he sees Leo. Oh! Hey, Leo. This is him, then. Cud? My voice is just incredulous enough to be offensive. The raccoon notices. His already scowling face gets even more scrunched up. I'm not exactly from around here. Oh, really? No. We stand there for a few seconds, then Leo grabs my arm. All right, glad you two can meet. We're practically in a bit of a hurry. Got a party to plan for. The raccoon watches us all the way to the door before Leo finally closes it behind him. Really, Chase? What? It's a weird name. I sniff, but instead of the scented candle smell I thought I'd get, I'm instead met with the acrid smell of cigarette smoke. It doesn't look the same either. It's all a bit empty compared to when I was last here. Makes sense, I guess, with Leo's parents and siblings gone. I tell him what a great guy you are for the past 2 years, and that's his first impression of you. Well, I'm sorry. What happened to that old mouse guy? Charlie? He died a few months after you left. Cud moved in a few years ago. Oh, well, he seems a little grumpy? He is, but he's a good guy. Been through a lot. Leo sets the bag onto the kitchen table, pulling out the cake and gifts. So, why did he move here? Said he likes the isolation. He works in Payton. Some things happen in the city and he wanted to get away. Leo ruffles through the plastic cups and gifts. I forget what country he's originally from. His full name is Kudzu. How old is TJ again? I think he's 20, but he doesn't drink anyway, if that's what you're wondering. I don't know. People change a lot in a few years. Ooh. Anyway, let's go to my room. Gotta message Carl. Leo's room is small, but cozy. A little cluttered, but clean enough. I walk over to sit on his bed, looking around at all the posters, most of them related to football or hip-hop moguls. He had most of these since high school. Kept the same room, huh? Your parents' room is bigger, isn't it? Your parents' room is bigger, isn't it? Yeah, well, I'm used to it being here. Would be kind of weird hanging out in my parents' room. Anyway. Hanging out in my parents' room anyway. Besides, he plops down next to me, bouncing me up and down on the bed. I don't really need the space. So, what do you do around here? Feels kind of empty. I'm really only here to sleep. Otherwise, I'm on the computer. You know, porn. He looks at me and grins. I look over at his computer. It's got a nice chair, and I guess what the box of tissues next to the monitor is for, but that's not what holds my attention. Instead, I see 3 holes punched right through the drywall. Around those are several more less successful dents in the wall, some with knuckle-shaped features. Holy shit! Leo's ears fall flat and he lets out an embarrassed laugh. Eesh, yeah, that's my fault. I really get into my games. I stand up and walk towards the wall, examining the damage. Leo stands up too, clearly uncomfortable. That was a few years ago though. I don't play that game anymore. Damn, Leo, you're fucking crazy. I poke a finger through one of the holes, realizing that punching through the wall with one try wasn't anything to sneeze at. And strong. So you still got that temper of yours. I don't. It was just that one game. He's got his paws on his hips, glaring down at me. I mean, what if I was standing here? What would that have done to my face? Chase, why are you saying that? I put my face in front of one of the holes for effect. Leo blanches like I had slapped him. Hey, don't talk like that. I would never. I know. Sorry. It's just funny how angry you get sometimes. I mean, your phone looks pretty new. When's the last time you broke one? Well, okay, the damn thing wasn't loading right, and he frowns. Why am I being interrogated right now? Hey, you want me to live here? I think I have the right to be concerned about my personal property. I only broke your phone once. Hey, look! There's something in those holes. A red flag. Oh no. This seems like a red flag. Am I wrong, guys? Same with the porn thing. Like that. Why do you leave it there still when you bring a guest over? These are all red flags. But don't worry, we're totally not falling for it whatsoever. As I put on my rose-colored glasses. Surely he's fine. We could fix him. More than I've broken anyone else's phone. Yeah, well, I never pretend that I cheated on someone as a joke. My attitude cools a little. Yeah, well, high school, you know? I know. Anyway, it's nice to have you here again. He reaches out and pulls me into a one-armed hug. When I pull back, though, I notice a cut on the side of his arm, a few more on the back of his paw as well. At this point, the fur is clumped together with coagulated blood. Man, you really wiped out. Huh? He looks at his arm. Oh, yeah, I should clean that up. Hey, get on my comp while I'm gone and see if Carl's online. Leo talks to me as he's walking out the door into the hallway. I should be logged on. Ask him what he's doing tomorrow. We need to plan this out right. Okay. I sit down in a chair and wake the computer up. Sure enough, Leo's already logged into his account. I looked at his friends list, seeing that Carl is idle. I sent him a message anyway, then leaned back into the chair, almost freaking out as it leans back way farther than I thought it would. Must be all those jerk. Jesus Christ, Leo. I drum my paws against the desk for a bit, then look back towards the door. Leo's probably going to be a while, and I am curious. I grin as I first check out his bookmarks. Social media litters the first few slots, and then there's one called Mecha Forums and another called what? Mechanics United? Mechanics United. I can't read. Then, of course, there are a few sports and football specific sites. Finally, I get to one called Gay Viddies, then another called Otters. Then I snort loudly at that one. I clicked on his history tab next. I scrolled through it for a while, then the first 50 or so relating to some DJ or hip hop artist. Finally, I see the word cock and know that I'm looking at one of Leo's porn sessions. It's pretty standard stuff. You know, the ass ball faking out, blah, blah, blah. But that's when I start seeing a pattern. Gay otters, otter asses, male otter, tail up. I raise my brows and click on the search bar for the history, typing in otter before hitting enter. The results spill down the window. The scroll bar small enough that I have trouble clicking on it to pull it down. Was Leo only into me because he had an otter fetish? I start to feel a little depressed as I scroll through the results, and that's when I notice another pattern. At least half the results have wolf in the search phrase, and not just that. Wolf, otter, get wolf. Oh. The nape of my neck prickles as I scroll down the hundreds of results, but that's when I hear the door open in the hallway. I jump, first covering the screen with my paws like an idiot, then quickly exiting out the window. Except that doesn't work. The sheer amount of results I get from Leo's shame must have fucked up the CPU somehow. Okay, but he was lonely. Sure. The fact that the history page is so large that the scroll bar is so tiny. Not a red flag. Clearly, and Miss Chase, I can't blame him. You're right. Not a red flag whatsoever. Not a red flag. Everything is okay. I swear, there's a cut on my block, but I can't reach it. Fuck. I mutter under my breath, heart pounding in my chest. It's just like 7 years ago when my mom caught me looking at gay porn. Leo walks in, the computer screen is still hopelessly frozen. Yeah, but like, something else is going on. I don't know what it is, but it seems unhealthy. Can you help me get... Leo stops mid-sentence. As I look back at him, the guilt on my face pretty damn obvious. What did you do? You know what? I try to stall and turn back to the screen, clicking furiously on the X. Hey! And just as he was walking out behind me, the window disappears. Wait a second. What were you looking at? Dude is deaf attracted, but like, come on now. I feel like it's more a little bit obsessive. Like, I get attraction. I get the search history. But God, that's a lot. I mean, he's alone in this house. I don't know. This seems like a lot of red flags. The fact that he kept the anchor, that he stayed in the same room and haven't moved to another room. The fact that it feels empty. There are holes in the wall. Like, the fact that he doesn't do anything in the house other than sleep, that, and work. Is attached, not attracted. I can't read sometimes, okay, Danny? He's deaf attached to him, but like, this is a lot of red flags, and I don't know if my red rose-colored glasses can cover up this much red flags. Sounds like me, empty holes in my heart, obsessed. Oh no. Remember that trigger warning's there for reasons, guys. Be careful while watching me play this. Wait a second, what were you looking at? I swivel around in the chair, grinning. Nothing. Nothing? My voice squeaks. Leo stares down at me, an exasperated smirk spreading across his muzzle. No, not nothing. What the hell were you looking at? Is there something I don't know about? He keeps on staring at me, but I get up and pretend to stretch, moving towards the bed. Well, yeah, there's something you don't know about, but now I know about some things, like how you're super obsessed with specifically otters, and that me being the otter, and how all the search history happened after we broke up. Huh. I switch my tail behind me a few more times, teasing him, but mostly I'm just relieved I didn't get caught. I hear him move, but I can't react. But before I can react, he's on me. He grabs my arms and shoves them up behind my back, then shoves me forward, falling on top of me on the bed. I grunt loudly as well as the weight pushes the air out of my lungs. Denny, you're not wrong, and we already had that comment earlier, like with the group, about otters and the furry community. Looks like I'm gonna have to get it out of you the old-fashioned way, otter. Also, it's kind of concerning that he doesn't call him by his first name. Like, is that also a red flag? The fact, like, I have not once seen him call him Chase. Like, is it just me? Like, has he called him Chase once, or has he been calling him Otter? Like, I don't know. Hey, get off me! He clutches both my wrists in one paw while he digs the other into my side. I don't want to spoil this, but fuck. No, Danny, don't spoil. No spoilers. I gasp and writhe desperately, bouncing up and down on the bed while he pinches my ribs. No, please, I don't know anything. Sure. Now, what were you looking at? He leans in harder on me, and I feel his hot breath on my ear, nuzzling at it, only making me laugh and squirm harder. I don't. While I'm sure Leo is curious about what I was doing on his computer, I'm definitely sure there's another reason why he's doing this. I can feel it against my ass as he rolls around on top of me. Before I can really think about that, he lets go of my paws and the tickling stops. I only have a second of reprieve before both his paws dig into my armpits. Practically squealing, I writhe around, managing to get my back now that he isn't laying on top of me. It doesn't help as much as he just goes right back into my armpits. I can't take it anymore. All right. I was just searching your contacts to see if you were hooking up with anyone. The tickling stops and I'm left gasping for air while Leo just looks down at me, grinning. Oh, a little jealous, huh? Maybe a little. Huh. Leo looks genuinely happy about that. His paws spread out to either side of my bed as he grins down at me. I take my chance to shoot my paws up to his sides, digging in. He yelps and curls up and falls on top of me again. I don't relent, though, and keep wiggling my fingers around his body. Obviously, he's letting me win, but it's still fun seeing him melt and twitch in a pile of giggles. He rolls onto his side. He rolls to the side of me, and I get on top of him, pretending to wrestle him down like I'd done 100 times before. He playfully fights back, but he's grinning up at me with a dopey tongue out of the muzzle expression. On a whim, I plant my knee on his crotch. I'm not sure why, probably to let him know that I knew, or maybe it was just some way to get back at him for getting off on this. He yelps again, this time a lot more loudly, and folds up, pushing me off of the side. Fuck! We both lay there, side by side, panting and sweating a little, my head resting on his arm. I think I won that. No way, I got you to squeal. And you cheated when you crushed my dick. Leo reaches over me to turn on a small, complicated-looking fan on the bedside table before flopping his other arm over his eyes. As I stare at the fan, I notice something else next to it and gasp loudly. What? Is that a fucking gun? Oh, yeah. It's real? Yeah, of course. Turning my head to stare at him. Why? You just leave it out there in the open? I never thought of Leo as a gun person. From what he's told me, he hated guns. Well, my dad has a bunch, and when he left, he gave me one for protection. Wow, do you really need it? A few people in this town, well, you know, I think I know the people he's talking about. Have you had to use it or something? I mean, it's just sitting out. Leo shifts, bouncing the bed. Let's just say some people need convincing when they're trying to cause trouble. I'm about to ask more, but Leo holds up his other paw. Not now. I'm tired. I'll tell you about it later. I go quiet, but it's hard not to stare at the gun. The concept of owning one is just so foreign to me. So what's with that fan? I change the subject. Leo looks confused and over at the fan. Oh, it's a humidifier fan combo. I get nosebleeds a lot. Oh. I close my eyes and lay there against Leo. These are not red flags. We're fine, guys. We're so fine. Just stick all the red flags on top of this man. I can't see shit. They're pride flags. They're gay pride flags. That's all I see. Sure, this is fine. This is probably a bad idea. I know, but it feels good, and I'm tired even after the discovery I made on his computer. I guess I'm just trying not to think about that right now. The fan drones softly. Leo's arms move under my neck, and I feel his paw come up and start brushing the tuft of my fur on my head with his thumb and index. I wish you would style this again. When I had it spiked, that was stupid. I liked it. I feel myself dozing off as his finger starts brushing my forehead. I feel the coolness of his anchor bracelet through my fur. Sometimes I think I'm going crazy. Huh? I'm barely awake at this point. The fan blowing on my face, Leo stroking, feeling his warm body next to mine. I saw you here last week outside my window. That registers as a little weird, so I come back out of my doze a little. Oh? Yeah. I just looked out and I saw an otter just standing there. Huh. You think it was just another otter? Well, Leo yawns and even now I feel uneasy. Turns his head towards me, snuffling at my ear. There's only one otter guy, remember? Dale? He's fat though. But I've just been someone that was lost, right? Maybe. I went out and didn't see anyone. Huh. Well, sometimes people see things. His arm tightens around my head as he gives it sort of a hug. Hope I'm not seeing things now. I roll my eyes, but his words remind me of something. Just like a bad dream, I'll be gone when you wake. But I swear, even if it was fake, I'll never forget your face. I sing a few lyrics from our old emo songs, but that's when I hear Leo snore, so I give into my pleasant drowse and sink slowly into sleep. Trigger warning, descriptions of spiders ahead. Skip to this time to avoid this section. Ooh, this room's a huge red flag now. Oh boy, this is weird. I feel a presence in the room and it's angry. Chase! I jolt awake, but I can't open my eyes. Chase! Finally, my eyes twitch open, but I can't move. I only wiggle the tips of my fingers. Try to hide. Just try to hide, I dare you. I flinch, the voice is right in my ear. I'm still in Leo's room, still in his bed, and I can vaguely make out his body in the corner of my eye. The room, though, is tinged red. Look at all those red flags, guys! Oh my goodness! I hear clicking, and I see the monitor switch on. I see myself bent over, tail raised naked, looking back at the camera, my face warped. Dark holes bloomed over the eyes, then all over the image like it's burning. A tarantula crawls up over the foot of the bed and starts making its way towards me. I gasp through my nose. I can't open my mouth. My heart beating so fast I think it's shaking the bed. My fingers wiggle as I try to yank myself awake, the massive spider only moving closer as it crawls over my foot and onto my leg. The weight of the spider is real. The way it's disheveled my shirt as it crawls onto my stomach is real. This is real. No, it's not real. I've had this happen before. It started happening when I took that night shift at the grocery store next to the campus. Very common, very normal. People have it happen all the time. I'll just close my eyes and wait it out. I do that, squeezing them shut as tight as I can, trying to find comfort in Leo's presence next to me, his arms still under my head. I feel the spider on my chest. Its weight so much more than it should, but it stops there, doesn't approach my face. But then I feel something else, another presence. It's coming from the right side wall, where the window is. Something's looking through it, at me. I know it. I'm not opening my eyes, though. I know if I do, I'll see something that will freak me the fuck out, and the spider is bad enough. I hear tapping. Whatever it is tapping at the glass, wanting my attention. It knows I know it's there, and it wants me to see it. Fuck. This is lasting way longer than it should. What if I'm stuck? Am I stuck? Am I going to be stuck in this twisted Leo's spider room dimension for the rest of my fucking life? He's mine. My eyes fly open already, pointed towards the window, bracing myself. But it's empty. The sky's tinged red from the sunset, and so is this room. My dreaming brain exaggerated it to look like the color of blood. The spider's gone, and the angry presence is too. I sit up slowly and rub my face, feeling exhausted, even though I just slept. With the humidifier blowing right in my face, I could feel the tiny droplets of water that collected on my waterproof fur. It'll be impossible to fall asleep again after that, not only because of how brutal that sleep paralysis was, but because I still don't feel right. While the spider and the thing in my room are gone, the other thing outside the window, I feel like it's still there. What the fuck is going on? I look out the window again and see nothing. But still, I can't shake the feeling that I'm being watched.